Welcome! Today's lesson is on planting flats. This is a speedling flat, and this one is actually 230 cells large. This is what we use a lot in the vegetable transplant industry primarily because it's big and it can carry a lot of seeds in it. And also, if you look how deep these the roots will go down, they're a lot easier to transplant that way. So today what I want to do is I want to show you just some concepts on how to use this kind of flat when you're doing vegetables. Once you get it, the very first thing you have to do is once you moisten the soil, then you can put the soil in each of the cells and then get a dibble board. You don't want to get it too tight, but also you don't want it really loose either, so that when you water it, there'd be too much airspace and then the seed and the soil won't make contact. Once we've gotten this done, we're going to actually go to the labels, put the label where I started my seed. Now, let's say I finish that variety and want to go into a different variety, then what I'll do is I will just put another seed label right here, then I'll know that everything from here to here is the new variety. So those are kind of some precautions you want to use. Now, when you're actually sowing the seed, I'm just not scattering them willy-nilly all over the place. What I am doing though, a piece of the packet, fold it in half kind of like this, put some seeds, and that way I can meter out 2 at a time. Now, there are devices that will do that for me. I'm just not a big fan. You can do it in your hands and put 1 or 2 in each cell. So I'm going to go ahead and go with this one. I'm also going to use a pencil. And now what I'm going to do is, oh, I almost forgot, we got to put in the dibbles. So to dibble these, I'm just using my hands. You can have a dibble board and you can push these on here and it'll make some indentation in the soil to get it just at the right level. So I'm just going to use my fingers like a dibble board, and I'm just lightly pressing down on where I'm going to put the kind of like craters. Then I'm going to put the soil and the seed together, and I'm just using my fingers just like a dibble board and work my way all the way across this flat. And I can just go all the way down and speed it up just a little bit, just so I can do some more. And I think you get the idea. I mean, if you want to do 1 at a time, just use a pencil, that's fine. So let's go ahead and get the seed in. Now, in my case, I like to have basically 2 seeds per cell. That way, in case one doesn't germinate. Now, I try to get them apart from each other. I don't like to put them one on top of another. So I do that. And the labels actually act as a pretty good way to dispense them. And I'm planting peppers, sweet peppers today. It takes them a little bit longer because they need to be in the ground and warming up a lot sooner than some of the tomatoes and other things we're going to be doing this time of year. And let's get this one row done. Okay. There we go. And there it is. So that is just this one row. I'm going to go ahead and put the label on a little later. Now what I'm going to do next is to cover up the seed so that they don't float off if they get too much water. I'm going to use some vermiculite, and I'm going to spread it out over the entire top. This is called top dressing. Now, some people use a colander. I use that sometimes too. This way I can control it a little better. Once I have that done, I'm going to just smooth it out. Should be a light dusting over the top so that they are buried and they have good contact with the soil. That's the main part here. So you want to have good contact with the soil, and you want the seeds to kind of stay in place. All right, then you put the label in it. Now, at this particular point in time, you just finish it off. Then you take it to your mist bench or wherever you're going to be taking it. It definitely needs some heat on the bottom. So really that's about it, and that's the process. But the one thing I find with this is if you leave them, of course, on the heat mat or on the mist bench, they'll grow much faster, and of course then you can transplant them easily because they have a long root system that kind of fills out that cell. So I hope that's helped you. I'd like you to watch the videos that we're going to have next. We're going to be talking about the drill method as well as a broadcast method. So thanks for watching, and don't forget, if you really like this kind of content, please hit the subscribe button, and if you'd like to see a little bit more of in particular, some of the gardening tips that we have, make sure you hit the like button. So we'll see you back in the lab, or in this case, the greenhouse. Thanks.